movies we have ever watched. So not worst movies in general, just worst movies that our individual persons have seen.
hmm
Want to start us off? It's the worst movie you've ever seen, Wyatt.
I'm gonna go with a shout out here to Batman and Robin. I I mean we're both big Batman fans, right? I
Yeah,
think we can say
yeah.
that. But that is just a god awful movie, dude.
It was
And
really just not good.
it was a bunch of good actors,
Hmm.
and you put them all together, and it was just a bad. I mean, I don't even think it was really. Some of it was the acting, but the storyline was awful.
Yeah, it was super corny, you know?
And I'm a huge Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, but that
Yeah.
probably wasn't the choice for Mr.
And I'm a
Freeze.
huge fan of what was it? What was he? Well, Mr. Freeze. I'm a huge fan of the villain,
Oh yeah, me too.
you know? Um it was great villain in the animated series. I think they just kind of butchered the character a little bit.
Yeah.
Um or a lot of it. George Clooney, just not a good Batman. Uh
No. I mean, at least he admitted it though.
yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
no, that's up there for sure.
I think the good news about that is whenever they do Mr. Freeze again, it shouldn't be too hard to top.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. I'm hoping because we're kind of I'm kind of getting the idea that they're leaning towards Hush as the villain
Yeah, I don't
in
I don't know
Batman
what they're
2.
doing with that. Yeah.
And if that's the case, after because I read the comic book, phenomenal comic, probably the best Batman comic book I've ever read.
hmm
But right, the idea is that he's a mastermind villain who's controlling all of the villains that Batman has conflicted with throughout his past. So the Joker, right? The Clay guy, right? What is it?
Clayface.
Yeah, Clayface, right? Mr. Freeze, Poison
Yeah.
Ivy, right? All of them. So I'm hoping that if that's the case, they include Mr. Freeze in that.
I like that idea. My only problem with that is I don't think that trilogy is gonna be I think it's gonna stay more realistic.
What do you
Like
mean?
like it'll be more grounded.
Just
So
in terms of
like
the villains that they
I
use?
think like I don't want to say overall because obviously Batman's not a grounded person, but like
Mhm.
they are. I don't know how much you know about the whole new DC what they're doing with like James Gunn, right? So he's
No,
making
no,
his
I haven't paid
own.
attention to a lot of the James Gunn stuff.
So he made Superman a couple like a year or two
Hmm.
ago,
Yeah,
and he's bringing in like I think it's like Supergirl, Batman. He's making his own Batman, so it's gonna be like a different actor,
yeah, yeah.
and that's gonna be more like fantastical. So it's gonna be like they're making a Clayface movie coming out this year.
A little bit more comic book oriented,
Yeah,
like
like it'll
very
be
traditional.
Killer Croc, Mr. Freeze, like weird
Hmm.
villains. And I think Robert Pattinson is gonna keep with like, there's the Riddler. I could see Hush. I could see the Court of Owls. I think
Hmm.
that is the perfect way to wrap up the trilogy.
Yeah.
But I mean,
You just don't think Mr. Freeze quite fits that villain?
just from what I've heard from the director, is that it's more gonna be more of grounded mystery horror,
Right.
which like I
Well,
think
I
I think
mean, they
Hush
could.
is
I
perfect.
think, yeah, but I just mean include him as one of the villains that Hush is using.
That'd be cool. No, I love the idea though.
Because I mean, I think they're still away. Because I get your point. Because I mean, you look at past Riddlers, right, and they're more goofy, more comic book oriented, and right, they kind of spun
Turn him into a
the
serial killer.
Riddler into being a more realistic horror style villain. And I think you could do that with any of the villains. Maybe not like Clayface
Well, I
because that's a
mean,
little bit more.
imagine finding like people frozen and like you can't like all throughout the movie like the DA is frozen, right? Like people are frozen in the city.
Yeah, so maybe it's not like a dude in an ice suit fucking with some ice laser gun like in Batman and Robin. Like maybe it's a little bit more like mad scientist kind of
Yeah.
serial killer who freezes limbs or something. I don't know, like something along those lines. I mean, I
I
don't think they're gonna. dismember people in a Batman movie, but you get where I'm going with that, I guess. You know, they find dead bodies in ice sculptures or something, right? That's
Yeah,
his thing.
people just frozen.
Yeah,
That yeah, I mean with Batman, it's endless possibilities. So I
yeah,
mean,
and it would fit because I mean the whole like the poster is right. It's right. It was kind of fire, and the first one now is ice, right?
hmm
So I don't know.
it's gonna be taking
Anyway,
place in the winter. So I mean,
yeah, got off on a huge tangent there.
yeah, but good. I like your thoughts though.
All right, back to so my first one. This is a very deep pull, okay,
hmm
but I cannot get this movie out of my head, and that's Spring
I knew
Breakers.
you were going there.
Yeah, with one of the Francos. Was it James Franco?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jim.
and
hmm
oh yeah, Vanessa Hudgens was in that. There was just no, there was just like no plot.
No, it was a really weird. I still don't. I mean, I think I've watched it once. I didn't
Yeah,
understand it.
there's just like no point to the movie.
It. I don't.
I mean,
I
shout out
mean.
Gucci Mane was in it. That was kind of cool, but
I.
I
I.
just, it was like overly crude as well.
hmm
Like it was just like so crude. I was like cringing watching the movie. And like I said, just no point to the movie whatsoever. Like I've never been so dissatisfied watching a movie at all.
Yeah. I didn't really. It's almost like I didn't even understand it because the storyline was
Yeah.
so bad.
And it was just all over the place, and I just remember just not knowing what was going on half the time.
hmm
But
I do like that
I
one
mean,
though. That's a good pull. Um, I'm gonna go with. I actually kind of got this idea from you, and I totally agree with it. I'm gonna go with Gravity.
yeah,
I
it was such
s-
a highly acclaimed movie,
yeah,
and it was so disappointing.
it's one of those movies where you see the trailer and it
Hmm.
sees you're getting pulled out into space or whatever, and it's like, okay, that looks creepy, that looks good. I want to watch it, and it was just not.
I mean, obviously, in terms of graphic design and CGI, um, phenomenal. Of course, it was a great movie visually, but just in terms of a story, like I remember, like when the credits hit, I was like that's it, like it's over.
hmm
Like it just didn't like not a good ending. It's been a really long time since I saw that, so I can't remember exactly how it ended. I just remember being very dissatisfied. And it's funny if you actually look it up, one of the prompts is Gravity a hit or a flop? But it's funny because it's considered one of the most successful sci-fi films of all time, which doesn't make any sense. But
I wouldn't even consider it a flop because I think it did pretty well in the theaters.
yeah, and
Um,
it won a lot of Oscars, right? It won 7 Oscars somehow.
yeah, I just didn't
But
like
that's
it.
always the same thing with the Oscars and the Grammys, especially with the Grammys. You'll like some artists will win, like all these awards, and you're like, I've actually like never even heard of this artist. And the same thing with the movies. Um, like, there's a few like what was the one about that gay black guy? There was some movie and it won like all these Oscars, and I just remember sitting there, I was like, I've never seen this movie, and I don't know anyone that's seen this movie. That happens with the Oscars all the time, where you're sitting there and you're like, nobody likes this movie, and it's won all these Oscars. And I
That's why
think
those
Gravity is one of those movies.
award shows are terrible.
Terrible. Well,
Absolutely
they're always
awful.
good at this point,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, just super underwhelming in my opinion from a story
hmm
standpoint.
Terrible
I just
movie.
remember being very like just dissatisfied with how it ended. Like I was disappointed. Like I was had such, and I think it was too because part of it was that everybody had such high expectations for the movie. Like it was hyped up. It was just like I was just being the greatest movie of our generation, right? And it just was not.
I like what you said earlier about the credits started rolling. You're like, really? That's it?
Hmm.
Like I expected so much more
Yeah,
out of it. I was very disappointed for sure.
and I thought it was boring too. Like they were trying so hard to be like suspenseful,
hmm
and you're just like, waiting for something to happen to the point where it's like it just wasn't suspenseful anymore. Like I'm just bored.
Yeah, and then it ended. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
I just sat here to watch this whole thing.
Like I've been waiting the entire time for something to happen and
I
nothing
think when she
happened.
got sucked out into space was kind of cool, but then it was like that was
Yeah.
like the only scene I honestly really remember being that
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with another one here.
Hmm.
Well, really I'm gonna go with like three movies here. But pretty much every Fast and the Furious movie since Furious 7, all of them.
Interesting. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't watched the last two, but the that third to last one that you're talking about, I was not a big fan at all. Absolutely not.
Yeah, and I remember what was it, Furious 8 or Fate of the Furious or whatever what was
Yeah.
the eighth one? Let me look it up actually all
It's
fast.
kind of one of those series I just kind of got tired of too.
Yeah, well yeah, it was the Fate of the Furious, so that one wasn't good. That was with the whole ice thing and the submarine.
Hmm.
So that's when it got there were some fun elements to it, I think. But that's when it just got so just over the top. Like, okay, these guys are supposed to be street racers,
Hmm.
and now all of a sudden these guys are like Navy SEALs, right? Just like this government super team where like they're not race car drivers anymore. They're like acting like superheroes. And that's when that was the
Yeah.
first movie. Like obviously Furious 7 was I think they started to stretch it a little bit in Furious 7. But like they did the whole thing for Paul Walker, and it was you're right. It was the first movie without him, and they did the whole thing for him at the end of the movie with like the goodbye, and they drive off, you know. Um, and like I thought Furious 7 just would have been a phenomenal way to wrap up
Hmm.
the movie series, I guess, if you call it.
It's one of
And then they came out
those.
with the Fate and the Furious. I just thought they kind of ruined it, but
Yeah, it's one of those movie series that you just they don't know when to stop, and it
it's one
should
of
have
those for
been
sure.
a long time ago, I think.
So I never watched Fast X. Um,
Yeah.
but I probably never will for the reason that the
Mhm.
Fast and the Furious is one of my favorites. I mean, I grew up watching those movies. It's one of my favorite movie series of all time, right? The first one, Too Fast, Too Furious, Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious, not the best, but still a great movie. Fast Five, awesome, like just awesome movies. But I did watch Furious 9 or F9 or whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
There were some cool elements, but with like Dom, like turning bad and like all this stuff. I mean, I don't know. It was a big stretch. And there's like a cool like the only good part was like at the end when they're all at the house at the cookout and
Mhm.
Paul Walker's skyline, his blue skyline pulls up. I mean that was cool and all, but um no, and I never watched Fast X and I'm sure it's just as bad as F9. Um
Yeah, it
but
just
not
after
to
the
mention John Cena is just such a corny fucking actor.
yeah,
And I know they've been throwing him in there, but
after the first few, it just wasn't the same.
yeah.
They stretched it too
Um
much.
And I watched Hobbs and Shaw, like the spin-off.
Mhm.
Um, that movie wasn't great either.
No, I
But
remember it being
I don't really
okay.
consider that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, obviously, I love with Jason Statham or
Mhm.
what's his name? Jason
S
Statham, right?
Something like
Or
that. No,
No, it's not Statham,
Stratham
but
or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah, I know who you're
something
talking
like
about.
that. I'm sure we're gonna get for fucking hate for mispronouncing his last name, but I love his character. Um, So that's why I thought Hobbs and Shaw was kind of fun. But I mean, I don't even really consider that part of the movie series. So it's a
No,
spinoff. So,
yeah.
um, but
Time to chill out on Fast and Furious, like, it's been too
yeah,
many.
dude, like it was so good. Like you don't need to beat the guy after he's already dead. You know,
I mean, you could say that
what's the saying? Don't
you
need
could
to beat a
say
dead bush.
yeah, I mean, I don't wanna say you could say the same for Star Wars because 'cause I'm not necessarily saying that, but I think the last trilogy was just awful, and
Oh,
it
don't even get
was
me started because those movies are on my list.
yeah, that's kind of where I was going. But
Yeah.
I mean, I actually thought um, Seven was okay until they killed off Han Solo.
The Force Awakens was okay, but The Last Jedi was
Oh,
the worst,
hmm
one of the worst movies I've ever watched in my entire life. And I know that's old news at this point. The Last Jedi and the Rise of Skywalker or whatever.
hmm
Can't even remember what the fucking name was because the movie was so bad. Just don't even get me started because I'm such a big Star Wars fan.
yeah, me too.
I mean that's my number one thing I nerd out about. That's what I grew up on. I came home from school and I watched Star Wars: The Clone Wars on
hmm
Cartoon Network. I've seen
Yep,
all of the movies. I can't even count how many times. Um,
yeah, yep. I'm right there with you, and I
I
was,
they just absolutely fucking ruined everything with those movies.
and it sucks because I remember when the Force Awakens trailer came out.
I
I'm
was
like,
so excited.
I'm like, holy shit, dude! Like one of my favorite series is coming back. I grew up on the Clone Wars, like you said. I grew up on
Yeah.
all the movies, and I'm like, okay, like there was the what was it, the 80s or 90s movies
Hmm.
before I was born. The prequels came out when I was like, okay, like probably a little too young to understand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, now these are like my movies.
Yeah.
And it was awful.
Yeah.
I have always been a huge fan of the lightsaber battles.
Mm.
If you look at the prequels, some of the best lightsaber battles I've ever seen in my life.
How do they get worse?
Not even worse, way worse.
Yeah.
And wasn't one of them didn't even have a lightsaber battle in it?
I don't
Or
think
it was very
the
short.
last Jedi didn't even really have a lightsaber battle in it, I don't think.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's Star Wars right there, dude. Like when I think of Star Wars, I'm half the time I'm thinking about some of the best lightsaber battles I've ever seen in my life. Like the
I mean,
music,
there's
the
so many things we can get to why it's bad. I mean, there's the throne room scene
hmm
with Rey and Adam Driver or Kylo Ren, fighting off the guards, and there's a million things you can pick out of that scene. I think the biggest thing for me, so I like The Force Awakens, okay?
hmm yeah,
It's set up, it was not anywhere near the one of the best Star Wars movies. Like it was still below the
yeah,
first six.
but it's good.
But it was good enough where I was like, okay, this is setting up an exciting trilogy because it left it as like, okay, Finn is going to become a Jedi, right? He fought Kylo Ren. Like, obviously, there's some stuff. Like, no reason Rey should have been able to put up a fight against Kylo Ren in that movie, right? But
hmm
Kylo Ren, super sick villain, like trying to live up to Darth Vader's legacy and all this stuff. I still don't agree with where they went.
hmm
Like the whole like coming back with like the First Order. I'm like, okay, it's pretty much just a remake of A New Hope with like Starkiller Base. Like, I didn't like that stuff. Like, it just
hmm
wasn't a great, like, that stuff wasn't great, but at the same time, I'm like, it set up
It
something
had its
somewhat
issues.
interesting.
Yeah,
And yeah, but, I thought it was cool where it's like Luke Skywalker disappeared for whatever reason. Um,
kind of
and
like
it
that.
ended with Rey handed him the lightsaber on the eye. Like, that was cool. Like, it made me like, okay, I'm excited for the next movie. Like, where's this gonna go?
And then he fucking throws the lightsaber, doesn't
Yeah.
he?
And then they make up this whole thing where Luke Skywalker was gonna kill Ben Solo because he could see darkness in him. They just ruined Luke Skywalker would have never done that.
Yeah.
That they literally like changed his character. And there's literally an interview with Mark Hamill
hmm
where he's like, yeah, like when we were filming the movie, I literally had to think of myself as playing a different character. He's like, yeah, I had to pretend like I was playing Jake Skywalker or something like that because it just wasn't this. Like, they literally changed the character of Luke Skywalker. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw something about this maybe like 6 months ago. Did they decanonize the sequel Star Wars trilogy? I think they decanonized.
Oh,
How do
I
you
haven't heard about
spell
that.
decanonize?
I know they wanted to, but I didn't think they actually did.
Yeah, decanon. So okay, so they haven't officially decanonized
Yeah.
the sequel trilogy.
I wouldn't be shocked if it eventually is.
I think it will be, because it seems like with all these shows coming out, like I thought the whole idea, like I think the delivery was god awful, but the whole idea of Darth Sidious trying to clone himself, that makes sense to me.
Hmm.
Like someone who is craving power to the level that Darth Sidious, right? He took over the galaxy, right? Created his own empire, just ruled the galaxy under his thumb, right? The definition of the dark side of the force, right? It would make sense to me that he would try and find a way to make himself immortal or to clone himself so that
Yeah.
he could rule the galaxy forever. That makes sense to me. But when you just sit there and wherever wherever his fucking character was name was Damon or Dan, I don't even fucking know. That's how bad those movies were. I mean, I haven't seen them since they came out.
Hmm.
But somehow Palpatine has returned. Are you fucking kidding me? That's the line they came up with.
I remember hearing
How
that
about
in the
you show a
theater too.
scene of you guys investigating an ancient Sith temple and you find a secret tunnel where it like there's clones of Darth Sidious and you realize that Darth Sidious is like been cloned. Like how about that? Like how about you create like a
Hmm.
45-minute scene of like them discovering these like ancient Sith ruins
Yeah, it
of
doesn't even
like
have to be that
these
long.
emperor synthesizers or sympathizers that are trying to like
Yeah.
clone Darth. That would make sense.
Hmm.
But you're just like, yeah, somehow Palpatine returned. Like, fuck you.
It really ruined it for me when this guy put a YouTube video out. It showed even the prequel trilogy and the sequels trilogy and the how bad it was. So he played the Phantom Menace Darth Maul fight scene, right? With
Mm.
Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, music playing.
Yeah,
I mean, Darth Maul flipping backwards everywhere, moving around, and then hands it over to it was one of the fights from the sequel
yeah,
trilogy, and they're like, it doesn't even look like they know what they're doing
yeah.
when they're, and he's like,
Well, it's-
biggest downgrade in the history of history. Like this is awful.
and it's just like there's so many videos online of Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor like practicing the choreography. I mean, they spent
Oh, they
hours
were
and
locked in on
hours
it. Yeah.
training, and they're just sweating, right? They're in tank tops, and they're just, I mean, they practiced those fight scenes until it was perfect.
Hmm.
Hours and hours and hours. And that's why when people are like, oh, well, Hayden Christensen wasn't a good actor, and like, there's these flaws and this and that in the prequels, but I'm
I
like,
disagree with that too.
that wasn't the point.
I don't even think he's a
I
bad
think the
actor.
story was good, and I obviously having the Clone Wars helps
Hmm.
fix certain things that people were complaining about in Revenge of the Sith, but they delivered absolute cinema with those fights, especially Duel of the Fates and the Phantom Menace, and especially in Anakin versus Obi-Wan. But absolute cinema. I mean, nothing will top it. I mean, I hope they try. Supposedly, Ray Palpatine is Ray is getting her own movie or whatever.
Yeah, I heard about that, or like there's another trilogy coming or something like that.
I think they're just giving her like a movie, like a Ray Skywalker movie. Uh,
You'd Be
she's not a
Sick
Skywalker.
is a rated R horror Star Wars movie.
Yeah, like a dark, like a
Dark.
movie. I mean, I know this. I know the whole fucking trilogy or the whole saga is about Darth Vader, but like, I still think like an R-rated Darth Vader movie where it's just like you are just following Darth Vader the entire movie, and you get to see like Darth Vader in his like daily life, and you get scenes of him like not in his armor, and you get to see him like battling his like the good and the bad, like just constantly fighting the dark side versus the light side in his head, and like fighting with his anger, and just like I just think that was so sick. But I will say, like, I'm not opposed to Ray's character, you know?
Hmm.
I mean, I think they just completely failed. Like, it's not. I don't think it's the actors. I don't think it's Daisy Ridley's fault. Like, I never sat here and like blamed her for like how bad the character was. It's not her fault. Like, she was just given a terrible script. Like they were just given she was just given a bad character. Like they ruined the character. Any chance that that character had, they ruined.
Yeah, I
I will
mean,
say, if if they learn from their mistakes and they can take Rey's character and they can turn it into something better and they can actually create a good Star Wars movie. Like, I'm not against any of the characters necessarily. I'm not against any of the actors. I'm just against the movies that they put out. And if they can fix that, I'm all for Daisy Ridley getting her own Star Wars movie again or doing something cool with it, you know. But
the one I'm excited for is called Star Wars Starfighter. Ryan Gosling is playing a pilot.
I'm excited for that one too.
That perfect acting choice. Big time, big fan of his. And I think I've always been a person that's like, if you're gonna cast somebody that wants.
Yeah.
Christian Bale wanted Batman. Heath
Hmm.
Ledger begged on his knees for Joker.
Right.
Um, I mean, you could probably say the same thing for Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? Like, I mean, these guys want to play these roles, and Ryan
Hmm.
Gosling's been wanting to be in Star Wars for years,
Yeah.
so you know he's going to be
You know he's
excited.
gonna be all for it.
Yeah, and
Yeah, you need an actor who's got the passion for it.
but I mean, hopefully,
I agree. Actually, I really like when they do them well. I like the Star Wars stories that they do, where it's not about the Force and the Jedi and the dark side and all this stuff. Like that stuff's great. But like I loved obviously the Mandalorian stuff was really good. I'm
mhm,
excited for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
yeah,
Um,
it's next year, right? Next year, this year?
yeah.
I think
No,
it's next
I don't
year.
know.
Yeah,
I can't remember at this point.
yeah.
But even some of the shows that they did, like one show you probably never watched this, but Skeleton Crew.
No, I've heard it's good though.
I thought that was really good. Like, obviously, it really has absolutely nothing to do with any of the movies or anything. But I'm like, that's okay. Not every single Star Wars. Like, like they've created such a expanded universe, all this stuff going on.
What
But I
was
thought that was a fun show. I really enjoyed watching that show.
was it called? Am I thinking of Bad
Skeleton
Batch
Crew,
or Bad?
Bad Batch, absolutely phenomenal. I
I've seen
loved
that
that.
one. Yeah,
I almost like that better than well, no, but the Clone Wars is
the Clone
goaded. But
Wars goat.
I loved the Bad Batch. That was so good.
Total side note, I think when we move in together, we should watch the whole Clone Wars series.
I'm so for it.
I
We
love.
should watch every single piece of Star Wars content out there except for the sequel trilogy because they don't count.
Yeah,
But
that's like 9 hours of a
I mean,
waste.
hell, I'd watch Boba Fett again at this point.
Yeah, it wasn't. That wasn't. I
And
didn't think it was bad.
the Acolyte or whatever. I mean, you don't need to watch that shit. That shit is
Yeah, I don't
garbage.
think I've seen that one.
No offense, but as soon as they decided to put a gay woke director on that show to
Oh,
direct
I've
that show,
heard of that one. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I didn't watch that
I
one.
watched. I was super excited. There were some cool elements in it. Like I thought the bad guy was the villain was kind of cool.
I
You know, there's a little scene where Darth Plagueis was like peering around a corner. I thought
I've
that was
seen that.
cool because Darth Sidious's master or whatever. I think, but
I like the Obi-Wan show was good. If you've watched that, I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool. It was also I got so hyped. One of my favorite characters, Qui-Gon, made a little cameo in it.
mhm. I thought that here's my opinion on Obi-Wan
You weren't a fan?
show. It's not that I'm not a fan. So I thought that the stuff that they did right, there were certain aspects of that show was some of the best Star Wars content we've got.
Hmm.
Darth Vader was awesome
Hmm.
in it. So awesome.
And seeing
Okay.
them face to face was, oh my gosh.
And I thought that whole scene with the of right Obi-Wan breaking his mask and you get that little hint of like Hayden Christensen's voice. Right, Anakin is gone. Like I
I can
thought
hear
that
that.
scene was
Yep.
beautiful.
Hmm.
One of the best scenes we've gotten in Star Wars. I thought kind of the basic plot of the show I didn't really love. Um,
Yeah.
with what was the Inquisitor's name? The girl.
Oh,
I can't remember her
yeah,
name
I know
right
you're
now.
talking
I'm
about
blanking
though.
on it,
Yeah.
but I guess she'd be kind of the main antagonist.
Hmm.
I didn't love her character arc. Like I didn't love the whole like stealing Leia and whatever she wanted to kill Darth Vader. I also just didn't like that Leia was in it, to be honest.
Really.
Yeah. I didn't the whole kidnapping Leia thing, like I didn't love that. I mean I thought her character was great.
Hmm.
You know, like the girl that played her, like I thought she did a phenomenal job.
I thought it was kind of creative. I thought it
It
was,
was creative.
and it was,
I don't know where I would have gone with it necessarily.
yeah, it wasn't what I was expecting for sure.
Uh but and then obviously like there like that whole chase scene
Hmm.
with Leia was terrible.
Yeah.
I know that's like people's biggest knock on the show.
Yeah.
I don't know where else you would have gone with it. I mean, there had to have been somewhere else you could have gone uh to, but I mean, yeah. I mean, I think overall it was good. I definitely enjoyed watching it, for sure.
Hmm. Yeah. I
And
mean,
like I said, they did give us some of the best Star Wars content we've seen, in my opinion.
there's somebody I really
But
want to see in live action. I think she was super underrated. Was Ventress. I was a huge fan of her in Clone
oh,
Wars, and I literally every time she was on an episode, I'm like, they're missing it right now, not putting her in live
mhm.
action. Like,
Super good character. Um, so one show that I'm really excited for is this Darth Maul show that's coming out,
oh
the
yeah,
animated one.
mm,
Where this, I guess this would be kind of like our third extension of the Clone Wars, right? Because the Bad Batch was essentially an extension of the Clone
hmm,
Wars, right? Like that,
hmm,
that's what the Clone Wars turned into following, the Bad Batch is kind of the last true, good clones that are left. I'm really excited that of how he is like running the underworld during the
hmm,
or, like, I think it's under the Empire. I can't remember when they said it. Like, the show starts. I think it's after the Empire takes over.
yeah, I think so.
Uh, Super excited for that. Uh, because so far those like animated extensions of the Clone Wars that they've done, I think have been some of the best content. Did you ever watch Ahsoka?
Hmm.
I loved Ahsoka.
I thought it was great. I loved about the Clone Wars though was I was like I always thought they could do even more with her, and that
Hmm.
show nailed it. I think that was it was
Yeah,
cool to see her
yeah.
get more.
I thought I can't remember the actor's name. I thought she did a great job playing Ahsoka. I loved. It was very much like fan service, I think, but
Hmm.
I loved the episode they did with Hayden Christensen and like putting it like live action Anakin in the Clone Wars outfit and all of that. I loved all super good. I It sucks that he died. Dude, I'm blanking on everybody's name right now. Uh, but I loved the villain in that. Um,
Oh yeah,
but what was his name? God, Balin Skull, played by Ray Stevenson. Um, I love Admiral Thrawn. So here's my opinion, and I think a lot of people agree with me. I think Grand Admiral Thrawn. Do you know about him? Because he
hmm,
was in Star Wars Rebels. Do you ever watch that show?
hmm. I mean, that was a long time ago though. I think.
Yeah, I thought Star Wars Rebels was phenomenal. Obviously, right? It was a Disney XD show
Hmm.
targeted towards younger people, but the storyline that they gave was absolutely phenomenal. I thought Grand Admiral Thrawn should have been the main antagonist of the sequel trilogy. And there's a book series, and I haven't read it,
Yeah,
and I want to, um, called Thrawn or whatever. And there's three books, and those books are the sequel trilogy,
I haven't read them
right?
either.
So I actually started the first one, but I'm not a very good reader, and I gave up after like the third chapter. So those books were written with the intention of being the extension of the saga. Those were written with the intention to tell the story and like I said, I haven't even finished the first book, but I'm a few chapters in. But essentially, the groundwork is that like Leia is working on creating the new government, right? The new republic, right? She's trying to rebuild the galaxy. Luke Skywalker is um I don't think I don't think he's officially started training the new Jedi Order yet. He's still kind of like resetting. I can't remember, but anyways, it's like the whole return of Grand Admiral Thrawn, and essentially what he's trying to do, he's trying to rebuild the Empire
Hmm.
from the shadows. And if they went with that, that would have been absolutely phenomenal. But
Yeah, they have. It seems like they have a lot of stuff planned out for the next few years.
yeah, but
But yeah,
Grand Admiral Thrawn, he's one of my favorite characters in Star Wars. So
he would be so good for if they want to do like another trilogy or something. He's perfect.
well, so here's where I think they're kind of going. So I think what I'm hoping they do is the Ahsoka show kind of starts to replace the sequel trilogy in terms of canon events that follow Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
Because what they did with that, with right, Grand Admiral Thrawn was banished to a different galaxy, and the whole plan to bring Admiral Thrawn back, perfect. Like that makes sense. Like if you're going to continue the story of Star Wars, that's how you do it, right? Admiral Thrawn comes back and he tries to rebuild the Empire, you know. But I'm
yeah,
super excited for the second season with that. We've gone on such a long Star Wars tangent. We should probably end this episode here.
yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for listening to our fucking Star Wars rants, guys.